Hello everyone, welcome to English Shorthand classes. Exercise 32. Get ready for the dictation. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, knowing the Honorable mover of this resolution to be a good parliamentarian, I had expected that he would place before the House all sides of this problem. I had expected that he would be no less interested in the efficiency and discipline of the administration, no less interested in the public welfare than in the interest of the civil services. But I am sorry to observe that he has taken only one view of the matter, namely the interests of the civil services alone. He has not at all dwelt upon the frightful consequences which a strike of the sort we had the misfortune to have would have had on the country and the people in general. He has spoken, no doubt, in measured tones, unlike the honourable member who sat to his right in the morning and who raised a shout wanting to make up by sound what his arguments lacked in force. I wish to submit to this House that it would be incorrect and it would be imprudent for the House to accept this resolution. It would be incorrect because by accepting this resolution we would be laying down something bad in principle, and we would also be accepting a policy which would be suicidal and which would cut at the roots of discipline in the services. To the merits of reinstatement or otherwise of these persons I will come later on. I doubt the very propriety of Parliament going into this matter. Now let us see what has happened. Whether right or wrong, departments have taken up the question of these strikers, those who took part in this strike, those who indulged in disobeying the ordinance. Several cases of sabotage and intimidation, including criminal ones, have been gone into, and the authorities have taken some decision. In some cases the government have taken the decision, and in some cases the departments have taken the decision. Now would it be right for Parliament to intervene, to interfere with these decisions? Suppose we do that. Suppose Parliament interfered with the decisions taken by the government or by the heads of departments tomorrow. With what face and with what authority can the head of a department extract service from his subordinates? This is the question which the Honourable the mover must see, and also the other honourable members who have spoken in support of the resolution.